Learn how you can learn about all the lessons learned from the trenches on Azure SQL Database and Azure SQL Managed Instance from the experts on this special blog series this week on Data Exposed. Hi, I'm Anna Hoffman, and welcome to this episode of Data Exposed. Today, we have a special episode planned for you as we're going to be talking about the Azure Database Support blog and some other really exciting things and lessons learned along the way. And to talk about this with me, I'm bringing on Jose. Jose, thanks so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you so much to here. Yes, my name is Jose Manuel Jurado. I'm working as escalation engineer from customer service support for technologies about SQL DB and managed instance. I have been working for Microsoft by now 11 years, and I support also multiple things about SQL Server World. Let's say SQL Hybrid, SQL VMs, etc.
Awesome. Okay, so you have your hands in all the different SQL flavors, and I think you're like the guy to talk to when it comes to talking about this amazing set of blog posts that are hosted on the tech community page. So today we're going to be talking about the lessons learned from the trenches blog series that I believe was started by you some time ago. We'll learn more about it. I wanted to start by actually asking you, how long have you been putting together this series, and what really is this series?
Well, as you could see, it's around 6 years right now from for 2016. We wrote a lot of articles in this blog. Okay, and at the beginning, we published this post in SDN, and after this content was migrated to the community. Also, we have other articles about SQL DB and SQL MySQL and Postgres, but mainly is about SQL DB and managed instance.
Okay, gotcha. And when it comes to thinking about the topics, like this topic you're showing or other topics, obviously these topics are getting a lot of views, I can see. But how do you go about choosing which topics to post about?
Well, as you could see here, we have many topics. So I think that in summary, any topic that we could increase the customer experience using SQL DB and managed instance. We know that working with our customer, working with the community, we have different roles, different skills. So for this reason, we have articles about configuration, monitoring, performance, connectivity, workarounds, tips and tricks that we found working daily with our customers and our community.
Got it. Yeah, I think this is a really interesting example or series because you all are actually working with customers, seeing these issues come up time and time again, and then saying, "Hey, let's kind of democratize this knowledge and get it out to folks so they can learn and kind of grow on their own without necessarily needing our help." So I think it's really awesome what you all are doing. Now, I believe it's not just you writing these blogs, so I could be mistaken. Who else are writing these blogs? What types of authors are writing these?
Well, first of all, we have the honor to have this opportunity to write these articles because we are working, as you know, working with the customers. So for us, it's an honor to work with them. Who are? Well, I think that almost all the engineers that we have in support right now working as support engineers with Azure SQL DB and managed instance. We have other engineers or people that from Microsoft that they want to elaborate or collaborate with us in other articles, but mainly is this. It's very important to mention this because without this contribution, it was not possible to have. Right now, one thing that we found that is a good resource to find information about, as I mentioned before, workarounds, etc. You could see here, for example, issues about many things about how to connect with Azure Data Factory, issues that we have about crowd subscription, file over groups, etc. So we have many, starting with in US, India, and Europe, and then India, I'd say.
Awesome. That's awesome to see that, kind of everyone's contributing and sharing that knowledge. I know there's a lot of topics that go on, and I know there's a lot of things that get covered, but why are you actually going about and going through the effort of writing these blogs and publishing them?
Yes, it's a very good question, Anna, because when we started 6 years ago, working at the beginning, because we started more or less at the beginning with Azure, we thought that it's very important to share our experience that we earn every day with customers. So for the reason, you could see one of the topic that we have right now to automate the Azure SQL DB index and statistics, or other topics that we have about how to troubleshoot. So at the end, this is the experience that we are working in the cases, because we have the great privilege to earn more details about the daily by day or day by day of about this product. Also, as you can see here, for example, how we are able to fix a problematic index pool operator that we have, or for developers, for example, we know that our developers are very important for us, how to capture when they run a T-SQL command statement timeouts, etc. So at the end is share and this experience, and also try to be another resource when our customers are moving to Azure, what the other resource that they could find in useful information about the experience from another customer, because at the end is based on customer support. But basically, for me, it's we could summarize that we want to increase the customer experience. So I think that is very important that if you are having some problems, or you need to know several details, or you need more information beside the public information that we have, beside the data expose that we have, beside multiple things, is also you have this blog in order to find more information about it.
Got it. No, it makes a lot of sense. One question that, I'll kind of put you on the spot in is, like, I know there's so many blogs out here because I read them every month and I talk about them in our news update series. If you're a customer and you have some sort of problem or issue and you're thinking maybe there'll be a solution here, how do you recommend folks kind of navigate that? Like, should they go search the web and include like Azure Database Support in their query, or like, how can they find these workarounds if they're looking for a specific one?
It's a very good question. Even we are working on it, because right now we have a lot of articles that is we need to find the information. So yeah, in this case, basically, is try to search the main concept, the main problem that you have. Let's say errors that you have, several details. For example, when you type timeout, for example, sorry, you type timeout and you search, you click in the search button, you could see all the articles that we have. Basically, right now, for example, we have also learn about what is the comparison, for example, when we have remote query timeout against applications command timeout. Because, for example, this topic, it's about that we have many questions from customers say, no, I'm running from linked server, from SQL Server, connecting to Azure SQL Database, I got and timeout. Why is what is the reason, right? So basically, searching the data through the search. We are right now in the process in order to create add more search engine. Okay, searching engine. So most probably in 2 or 3 months, we are going to change something in terms of to find like try to split, for example, here about the topics about categories, to search, to make more easy to our customers to find the right word or the right article for them. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I love that tip of how to search. I didn't even know you could search like that. And also it's cool to get the insight that, you all are thinking about this as well. And so stay tuned. Maybe there'll be some easier ways to kind of navigate through. Jose, I just really want to thank you for coming on the show. Personally, I learned a lot about kind of the backstory, the value, why you all are doing what you're doing. And I just want to encourage all our viewers to check the link in the description or do a quick search for Azure Database Support blog. You all are always posting great stuff pretty regularly as well. Before we close, I just wanted to check and see if there were any final tips, tricks, or comments that you might have for our viewers, Jose.
No, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share some several minutes with you and with the community. I hope that this blog that we spend a lot of time working on this will be useful for the customer experience working Azure SQL database and managed instance.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And yeah, I think you can already tell by the views that it's very helpful to our customers. And I hope maybe this helps point a few new people to the blog. So if you're watching this video, go ahead, give it a like, leave us a comment, and let us know what you think of the Azure Database Support blog series and all the lessons learned from the trenches. And we hope to see you next time on Data Exposed.